What if I told you that your entire life, your successes, your failures, your joys, your sorrows, could all be traced back to your thoughts? That the invisible chatter in your head, the beliefs you quietly hold, and the perspectives you choose to adopt are silently shaping your reality every single day. It might sound like a cliche, but when you truly understand the depth of this idea, it can change everything. That's what this little book, just a few dozen pages long, sets out to do. And it does it with such poetic clarity that it's still changing lives more than a century after it was written. James Allen was a British philosophical writer from the early 1900s, and As a Man Thinketh was first published in 1903. He wasn't a loud motivational speaker or a flashy self-help guru. He was quiet, reflective, and deeply spiritual. His book wasn't meant to entertain. It was meant to wake you up. And it does, not with hype, but with truth. This was a time long before positive thinking became a buzzword, and yet Allen already understood that the mind is the root from which every branch of our lives grows. In a world today full of noise and distraction, this book is more relevant than ever. It calls us back to the source, our own mind, and reminds us of the responsibility and power we each hold. The heart of Allen's message is this: you become what you think about, not just in a vague, wishy-washy way, but in a deep, causal sense. Thoughts shape character, and character shapes destiny. If your life is the fruit, then your thoughts are the seed. Plant a seed of doubt, and you grow anxiety. Plant a seed of confidence, and you grow success. Over time, your repeated thoughts become the architecture of your life. One of the most powerful ideas in the book is that thoughts are like seeds planted in the garden of your mind. If you plant weeds, you shouldn't be surprised when they grow and take over. Imagine a farmer who sows nothing but thorns and then gets angry when he doesn't harvest wheat. That's what many of us do with our thoughts. We entertain envy, fear, self-pity, and resentment, and then wonder why our lives feel stuck or painful. Allen says, a man does not come to the almshouse or the jail by the tyranny of fate, but by the pathway of groveling thoughts and base desires. That sounds harsh, but it's freeing when you realize it also means you have the power to plant something new. Start with a single thought of gratitude or purpose. Nurture it with repetition and care, and watch how your inner world begins to bloom. Another idea Allen explores is that circumstance doesn't shape character. It reveals it. In other words, the events of your life don't define you. They uncover who you already are inside. Think of a storm hitting two houses, one built on a solid foundation, the other on sand. The same wind hits both, but only one collapses. Similarly, life's challenges don't destroy us. They expose the strength or weakness of our inner foundation. If you find yourself overwhelmed or reactive, it might be a signal to build more resilience inside, not to blame the storm. Allen writes, circumstance does not make the man. It reveals him to himself. This is a humbling and empowering reminder. You can't control every storm, but you can strengthen your foundation, one thought at a time. The book also dives deep into the connection between thoughts and health. This might sound radical, but Allen believed that the body is a servant to the mind. If the mind is anxious, fearful, or angry, the body begins to show it through tension, illness, or fatigue. On the other hand, a calm and joyful mind radiates through a person's physical presence. Think about someone you know who's constantly stressed. They often look tired, maybe even sick. Now picture someone who carries peace and positivity inside. They tend to walk with energy, their skin seems to glow, their eyes are alive. Allen isn't saying thoughts are a magic cure, but he's urging us to recognize just how much our mental state affects our physical one. He writes, strong, pure, and happy thoughts build up the body in vigor and grace. Taking care of your mind isn't just emotional hygiene, it's physical health too. One of the most overlooked yet crucial ideas Allen presents is about purpose. He says that without a central purpose, life becomes adrift, a boat tossed by waves without direction. A man with no goal, no central aim, is prey to petty worries, distractions, and impulses. But when you fix your mind on a purpose, whether it's personal growth, service to others, creating something beautiful, or even just being a great parent, your thoughts align. Energy that was once scattered becomes focused. You begin to move forward with clarity and peace. Alan encourages us to identify our purpose and then make every thought, every action a servant to that purpose. Just as a compass always points north, your mind, once calibrated to your goal, starts guiding you forward even when the path isn't clear. Finally, Alan brings it all together by talking about serenity. He describes it as the crown of life and the evidence of true mastery. The person who can stay calm in the middle of chaos, who responds instead of reacts, who chooses peace over panic, that person is strong. But serenity isn't about escaping from life or pretending things are perfect. It's the result of deep inner work, of training the mind to be steady, clear, and kind. It's what comes when you stop being a slave to fleeting emotions and start choosing your responses consciously. Think of a lake on a still morning. No ripples, no noise, just quiet reflection. That's the mind Alan wants us to cultivate. And it's not reserved for monks or saints. It's available to anyone willing to begin planting better thoughts today. So, what do we take away from all this? First, your thoughts matter more than you've probably been taught. Second, you can change your thoughts. And by doing so, you change your character and eventually your life. Third, don't wait for your circumstances to improve. Start improving your mind and your circumstances will follow. The most powerful transformations don't come from the outside. They begin within. And lastly, purpose and serenity are not luxuries. They're necessities for a fulfilled life. Align with a goal that matters, train your mind to stay focused and calm, and you'll begin to experience life not as a series of accidents, but as a meaningful journey shaped by your own conscious intent. James Allen didn't write as a Man Thinketh to impress anyone. He wrote it as a simple guidebook for anyone ready to take responsibility for their inner world. The language is gentle, but the message is fierce. You are the master of your mind. You are the maker of your life. And the power you seek has always been right between your ears. If this message resonates with you, I encourage you to read the full book. It's short, but don't rush it. Read it slowly, reflectively. Let it sink into the soil of your mind. If something from this summary sparked a new thought or helped you see yourself differently, share it in the comments or with someone you care about. And if you want more content like this, more timeless wisdom that can shift your thinking and transform your life, don't forget to subscribe. This journey of growth isn't just about reading. It's about remembering who you truly are, one thought at a time.